Hey everybody, here with another update video. Just want to share some news about what's going on in the family and in the ministry. So I'll start out with some family stuff. There's been a lot of ups and downs, kind of crazy compared to the recent past for us. So some of the fun stuff, the homeschool year has begun. Allison has done a ton of work getting a lot of curriculum, not just ready, but figured out. And getting comfortable with the flow. She's built out the semester. She's built out all kinds of plans and all this stuff. Like I'm amazed looking at what she's done and what she's got ready. And the kids are having a blast. You know, we're a full week and a half in now, and I'm getting to spend some time right before they start class with the boys and Azera if she can handle it, but just taking 20 to 30 minutes to read through some scripture stories and talk about that stuff. It's been exhausting for Allison especially, but I can say it's been rewarding, and she's very excited about how it's gonna help and serve them. So a fun little bit about Liv, who just started walking a month ago-ish. She's just such a little delight. She'll follow Azera, and Azera loves to put on a dress as soon as the music turns on so that she can spin and twirl and dance. And so Liv has started mimicking her, and she'll just kind of walk in a circle as if she's twirling, and then she gets this huge smile on her face. So dancing's just a really fun, important part of our life right now. And we're having a great time with that, and the kids are going on bike rides and long walks and playing baseball, trying to stay out of the rainstorms when they come because they're here about every day. So a lot of good stuff. Some of the downsides, I had another major truck repair a couple weeks ago, which some of you probably heard about. The air conditioner compressor went out on our truck, and that's just never a good thing. Thankfully, it was the only thing that went out. Sometimes when those go out, you lose a lot of other related components. So that was not very fun. The other thing is, we had a flood in our camper back in May or whatever when the tub overflowed. We found out that underneath the camper, a lot of the insulation held on to a lot of that water, and so it was very, very moist under there. So I've had to cut open our vapor shield, dry it out, get air blowing through there, and then I got to kill a little bit of mold. And I actually have to re-support a couple parts of our floor so that they don't, because the plywood's still just a little damp. It's not rotting at all, but that's just not fun. It's part of owning a house, or for us, a camper. So we're really hoping that we can fix that problem and that the floor is not actually in trouble. So yeah, otherwise, financial support has been a big problem for us in the last couple months. Just we're down to a pretty low monthly amount that's coming in from monthly givers, a lot of you. So I'm trying to expand the group of people in that. I would really appreciate your prayers and your thoughts. And even passing the word on, if there's someone who you think might be interested in hearing our story, hearing our vision and our hope and what we're after. That'd be really great. We also just received yesterday morning and the day before, I received confirmation about 2 gift commitments that are going to help us immensely as we work out, just having a little more time to get the monthly donation base to grow. I was really concerned for a while that I might have to start looking for, Allison and I both maybe looking for part-time work outside of what we're doing now. So this is going to help us get a little more time to get some more support raised. So that's really cool, and thank you to those of you who have made that happen. I can't tell you how much stress that has relieved for us. So a little story I want to share with you that happened recently. There's a guy who reached out to us at Lark and came in through the website and checked out some things and was really compelled by the message. He's really young. He's a new pastor, moved over here to the west coast of Florida from the east coast for this new position. And his name's Chris. His wife's name is Danny. I got to hang out with him and spend 2 or 3 hours just connecting, sharing stories, and having fun and encouraging each other. But also a couple nights later, his wife came along and my family came along, and we all just had a really great time hanging out at a local park and eating some dinner together. Really fun, meaningful connection. These are like people that could really just be friends of ours in what we're doing. But the initial conversation started out with him just kind of wrestling through the nature of this church that he's at, and he feels this kind of almost indignation, but like in a really excited sort of a way, that this church seems so unwilling to go out and spread the news and find ways to make friends with neighbors. The mission and evangelism of the church just feels like it doesn't exist. And so he's been planning to go into this staff meeting that they have weekly, and he said, I'm really going to go in, and I think I need to bring the fire or I need to bring like some energy, and I need to really rebuke them and call them out and see that this isn't absent from our church and our rhythms anymore, but to really get them going. So I spent some time talking with him about that, and the first thing I said was like, look, I think you're going to have to probably kind of chill it out a little bit and be willing to have a longer conversation, meaning it taking more time and more repetition, and doing it through the lens of encouragement as opposed to the lens of just rebuking or just saying like, we've got to be doing this or that. It's hard for churches to change. It's hard for anything to change, but especially like organizations or institutions. And so what I was able to help him do is reimagine that whole conversation. I said, what you're wanting to look at is, I mean, if you want to change the narrative of this church, if you want to see their zeal for spreading good news grow, then you're going, like, I really encourage you to share good news with that staff, but also they're going to need to see it start to happen as opposed to be told to go and do it. Those are very different things. If this is something you're really passionate about, just go and do it. When it starts to take effect and they start to see lives being changed and brought into communion with Christ, they will love it. They will just think that's an amazing thing, and they're probably going to start asking questions about how did we do that? What should we do? How can we join in? And the other thing I helped him see is that with 80% of society completely disinterested in any church gathering of any kind, micro church, mega church, house church, regular 200-person church down the street, whatever it is, 80% of society has zero interest in it. Does that mean we need to get rid of it? No. What it means is we need to start thinking about how to engage those people where they are. How can we mobilize people to go and share and spread good news among our neighbors? Literally to plant churches with the lost instead of saying, come to our churches. It's a very different way of looking at it, but it's probably the only way we're going to see the good news get into those places. So it was a great conversation. He had the meeting, and it was so fun and so funny afterwards. He shot me a text message, and he's like, I'm so glad that we talked before I went into that meeting, because I was planning to go in guns blazing, and you helped me think about a different way. And it ended up being a really meaningful conversation that by no means fixed or dealt with anything. It just started a conversation that we're going to be able to continue to have. So I was really encouraged by that, and I think that that's a huge part of why I'm here. I'm not always talking with pastors, but in this case, it was a pastor, and I was able to really help reframe what needed to happen. So he's understanding that encouragement and good news are always better than rebukes. They're always better than pointing a finger and telling somebody what to do, or pointing out what they're not doing, you know. So all the things that we need anyway, like as the church, everything is already done by the author and the perfecter of our faith. And if we keep that in mind, you know, when we're thinking about what we're doing, where we're heading, it really transforms our approach. So this video is a little longer than normal, but I wanted to share all of that stuff with you in that story. I'm glad I get to have conversations like that, and you have made it possible for me to be bold, to be present, to be available, to have conversations like that and many others with people along the way. So with Lark, I'm really helping people to see just how good the good news is, and I'm helping them to see how free they are to go and spread it indiscriminately among every person. So thank you for all of that. I love you all. We will keep you posted, and we will keep you updated.